All right, everybody, what's up? I see the bobblehead going. This is DC Sports for Life. I'm B.
What up? I'm D.
That's D. He's back with me today. If you watched the pod that I did yesterday, I was riding solo, just talking about some stuff. We did stuff on Nationals. Aaron Rodgers was with the number one pick. And I told y'all today we were going to go ahead and be back together and we're going to talk about the schedule. So, as we start off, I forgot yesterday, we start off, as you can see, Dimitri still has his bobblehead, refuses to break
Yeah.
anything else out. So
Yeah,
tell
I'm
us
being
what
stingy.
bobblehead you have.
I'm being stingy. I got my Daryl Green bobblehead. I got some other stuff too that I'm going to throw out there. I just got to break it on out and decide what I want to get. But I stay with Old Faithful right now. But
Okay.
in our upcoming podcast coming up, I have some more stuff to show y'all. But we're going to keep it vanilla right now. I got my Daryl Green bobblehead right now.
Okay, this is it though. You gotta come up with something else. This is the thing. You
All
gotta
right,
come. I love DG, but come on, man.
all right, man. I'm with
All
you.
right.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
So I was looking through the closet, debating on what I was gonna do, and I saw this
Oh yeah,
Redskins dad, and
nice.
if you can see, little known, I got this signed at training camp one year with Kevin Barnes,
Oh,
number
that's awesome.
25 for the Redskins.
Yep.
Wasn't a high draft pick, didn't last that long, but
No.
yeah, it's a crapshoot when you get somebody to sign. So you're just happy to have somebody sign.
Oh
So
yeah.
it was pretty cool. And when we would go to training camp before, especially when it was up in Carlisle, I love that vibe up there. A little
Hmm.
small area, and a lot of the players would sign. I remember that's when we met LeVar Arrington. He was actually doing an interview and grabbed my adopted daughter and held her. And I still have the um, Redskins cheerleader shirt she had on that he signed. And we had a whole bunch of other players sign it. But um, that was before LeVar lost me with his constant bashing of the Washington team, even
Hmm.
though it was, Dan Snyder at the time. You just still, you don't see that from anybody else. It's a former player. And he lost me on that on the radio. So I don't care
Fair point.
anymore for him. But
Hmm.
that's neither here nor there. People can argue with me. Yeah, he's done some things, but I just if you used to listen to him with Chad Dukes on the radio in the DC area, you know how bad it got where he just it wasn't just about the product on the field, it was personal for him. And
Hmm.
he made it personal, and therefore I made it personal, and I don't give two craps about him. So
That's a fair point.
so
Hmm.
that's my little diatribe on that. Don't give a
Hmm.
and
That's right.
so here's what we're gonna do. We're going to start off, and if we go on to something else, we will. We want to just talk about. You called me yesterday,
Hmm.
and I asked you if you wanted to do one yesterday. You said no, but you immediately got into the schedule.
Yes.
So I was laughing.
I
So
got some things I want to say, man.
I,
I
you,
got some
you,
things I want to say,
I
baby.
want you to say it. So that's why, just for disclosure, I cut you off and said, "Hey, save it for tomorrow." And
Yeah.
because I want you in your full glory talking about this. Don't hold back. Let's
Yeah.
go. Talk to me.
Well, here we go. So, of course, as y'all know, the schedule came out maybe what 2 weeks ago, maybe a week or two ago. Anyway, a few weeks ago, and of course, the big hot topic here with our local Washington Commanders team was the start of the schedule. Now, let me just say that I understand that on any given Sunday, anything can happen. I understand that, you don't know till the game gets there what's going to really happen. You don't want to try to predict the future. But the fact that the Washington Commanders, their first two games are on the road
Right.
against division rivals,
Right.
and then our third game is against the Super Bowl champions, that is absurd.
Right.
That is absolutely absurd. If you look around the league at the other teams, no team has a starting schedule like that. That is daunting. That is daunting. And just to throw out some numbers here, our first game of the season is against the Philadelphia Eagles in Philly. Now I know, like I said, anything can happen, but that right there is very, very tough.
Yeah.
And then after that, you play, assuming he's healthy, Dak Prescott, who by the way is 13-2 against the Washington Commanders. Let me say that again. He's 13-2. That means,
He's our daddy.
just to put,
He's our
that
daddy.
means that he has played Washington 15 times
Yeah.
and he's won 13.
Yeah.
And we're playing him in Dallas.
Right.
So again, you don't want to start predicting wins and losses and checking off this and that, because we know that in the NFL there's parity, there's things happen. I get it. But the probability of us starting 0-2 is very high.
Right.
And after that, we get the defending Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks, who, again, you don't want to compare last year to this year, but they came to Washington and humiliated us. Now, again, I know that was last year,
Yeah.
but still,
Oh yeah.
it's still in my brain
It was horrible.
what they did to us.
It was absolutely horrible. It reminded me of the Philly game where Mike Vick got his cleats
Oh,
sent to the
yes,
Hall of Fame after the game.
yes, yes,
That's
yes.
I'm surprised they didn't ask for Sam Darnold's jersey after
Oh my
going, what
God.
was it, 14 for 14 in the
Oh
first.
yeah, it was crazy. I
Yeah.
mean, and just to take it a little bit further, our fourth game of the season is over in Europe
Oh, right.
against the
Yep.
Colts,
Yeah.
who, by the way, people forget, before Daniel Jones got hurt, which, by the way, Daniel Jones, when he was with the Giants and couldn't play well, when he played us, he looked like a Hall of Fame. And
Yes,
for
he
all
did.
of you that don't believe me,
Yeah.
look at the stats.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look
He
up
did.
Daniel Jones' numbers against Washington.
Yep.
So
Yep.
my point is that the first 4 weeks are very difficult. Having said that, anything can happen. I have to believe that we're improved from the offseason and free agency in the draft. Hopefully, Jaden Daniels can get back to how he was his first season or close to that, and
Right.
that's great. But the bottom line is, this is ridiculous, man. I
Yeah.
mean, just throw something out real quick here. Teams that start 0-2 since 1990 have an 11% chance to make the playoffs. 11%. 11%.
Yeah.
If you start 0-3, you have a 2.4% chance.
Jeez.
So my point is that forget about the 0-3. Forget about that. We could, you know what? Let's say we beat Seattle week 3. But if we start 0-2, we have an 89% chance of not making the playoffs.
Right.
The season could be over before it starts. I mean, I know I'm being dramatic. I know it's still May. I just can't get over the start of the schedule.
Right.
It is daunting, to say the least. And
Yeah.
the people that make the schedules did us no favors.
Well, they never
And
do. They never
they
do.
never do. No.
No.
I mean, I just hope we can steal one of these first two, because if we go, because we're going to be dogs in both those games,
Oh, yeah.
on the road, at Philly, at Dallas. There's no way we're going to be favored.
Right.
If we lose both of those games, man, we're going to be in an uphill battle the rest of the season. So,
True.
you
True.
know, but
And that's and just to let everybody know who's watching, that's a tamed down version of
yes,
what I heard on the phone
yes,
yesterday.
it
There was
is.
some F-bombs in there. There was some choice names. So I appreciate you, not dropping the F-bombs and stuff. And I think what you were going for, I think you kind of jumped a little bit when you were talking about Daniel Jones. Before
Yeah.
he got hurt, weren't they like 7-1 or something?
Yeah, that's another thing too. Yeah, before Daniel Jones got hurt, the Colts were one of the best teams in football.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
football.
Yeah. I think they were
I
like,
mean, they
I
were
want to
they
say
were
they were 7-1.
yeah, they were elite. They were
Yeah.
elite.
So,
They were elite.
I mean,
So I mean, that's what I'm saying. Our schedule is what it is. We got to play the
right,
teams in front of us, but it's
right,
when we're playing them.
right,
To me, what stuck out to me was when you compare other teams' first 3 or 4 games.
right,
There are 32 teams in the league.
right,
The other 31 teams, if you look at their first 3 or 4 games, they don't even come close to how daunting our first 3 or 4 games are.
right. Yeah.
And that's what has me just scratching my head like,
Well,
how do you, it's just strange to me.
well, think about this. When they changed the format, if you remember, they talked about having divisional games at the end of the year so that
Yes.
the teams in the division could fight it out, and the top teams play each other and they're going to fight it out and see who wins. if there's a race for the division to where
Yep.
you're not playing some scrub team somewhere else. You're actually playing a team in your division. Now, looking at the schedule that I have up right now, November 12th is our last divisional game until the last week of the season, January
And
10th.
so exactly,
So we have
exactly.
7 weeks, 7 games. 7 of the last 8 games are not divisional, which
Yep.
totally goes against what they said the NFL had said they wanted to do, which is they wanted teams to play in their division near the end of the year. And we saw it last year. We saw it
Hmm.
the year before, where 2 of our last 3 or 3 of our last 5 were against divisional opponents. And
Yep.
now this time they're packing them up to the front. And, you can sit there and say, it calms down a little bit. You got the Titans, you got the Cardinals, you got the Falcons, you got the Vikings. Who knows how they're going to be? You got the Jaguars, and you got the Texans. And who knows how all of those teams are going to be. But it's amazing to me that, like you said, that they did the schedule the way they did, and it doesn't match up to what they said they wanted to happen, which was playing in the division.
And take this into account too. After those first 4 weeks, at Philly, at Dallas, Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Colts over in Europe, you have a week 5 game against the Giants.
Yeah,
And then listen to weeks 6, 8, and 9. 7 is a bye week.
right,
We have at San Francisco, Philly, and the Los Angeles Rams, who many people are saying are the best team in football going into the season.
right.
So, bottom line is when you look at the early stretch and
Right.
then kind of the mid stretch,
Right.
it is devastating for us.
Yeah.
And again, who knows how these teams are going to be, but considering what they're projected to be, I mean, I don't think I'm overstating it when I say that we have a very tough half of the season. I mean, if you try to project, I mean, let's say for argument's sake that those first 3 games we steal one of them and we're
Okay.
1-2.
Okay.
Let's just say that.
All right.
And then I'll even take it a step further. Let's say we nut up and we beat the Colts in Europe.
Okay.
We're 2-2. And then we play the Giants at home. We get to 3-2.
Okay.
Wow, we're looking real good. Then we're at San Francisco. Oof. Philly again. Ugh. And then the Rams.
Yeah.
So even if we nut up and kind of overachieve those first 4 or 5 weeks, we could hit right in the mouth again with Niners, Eagles, Rams.
Yeah.
So I mean, it is what it is, but
Yeah.
that's just awfully tough for a 5-win team from last year. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and that's what's crazy. And some people posted on X, and they were saying this is, a 5-win team schedule. It seems pretty ridiculous to me. I know you have to play divisions, so it looks like we're playing
Yep.
the NFC West again.
Yeah, NFC West.
And looks like the AFC
AFC
West,
South.
yeah,
AFC South.
Titans,
Yeah.
Texans,
Mhm.
and then how we ended up with the Bengals, I don't know. But here's what I kind of responded when somebody was talking about kind of the schedule like you are. I don't want an easy schedule, period.
True.
If we are who we hope to be, you need to be made into fire, you know?
Yeah.
And if we would have a soft, like we did when we went 12-5, and it wasn't necessarily the teams, it ended up being the quarterbacks. And
Right. The
we've
quarterbacks.
talked
Yep.
about that previously, how, I mean, we played backup quarterbacks for like 5 or 6 games.
Yep.
So it's one of those things that if you want to get to the mountaintop, you got to play the best of the best. That's why,
That's true.
in the 80s, when, we were young fans and you had all those people at RFK saying, we want Dallas, we want Dallas. They wanted Dallas to win in the playoffs so they could come to Washington.
Yep.
You want, I said, you want that smoke. Either you want it or you
Yeah.
don't, and I'm of the mindset that if we're going to get where we need to go, you need to have these games. And I know what you're saying with having new coordinators and starting off the year and everything, but I think that's actually an advantage. I think the advantage is because they're going to look at tape from the Lions offense. They're going to look at tapes from Minnesota's defense, but they don't have the players that we have. Our personnel is different. So
Hmm.
it's going to look similar a lot of the ways from what everybody's talking about to Minnesota's defense as well as Detroit's offense when Johnson was there. But this gives us the advantage against tougher teams because they haven't seen our offense and our defense.
Yeah,
So,
that's plausible. I mean, that's a reasonable point. And but it's just I just can't get over having to go on the road against two division rivals and then play the Super Bowl. I just can't get that out of my head.
oh, make no
I mean,
mistake,
that's
make no
that's
mistake, they screwed
unbelievable.
us. The NFL
Yeah,
screwed us. Okay, I'm not
that's
arguing that
unbelievable,
point in the least. They did. They gave us the hot beef injection. Um,
man. That's tough, boy.
so you know what you do with that? You go out there and you take two of three. You
There
know,
you go.
do that.
Okay,
Go out there. They want to screw you. Take two of three, and then go to London and beat the Colts. And
just shut them up. Shut
and
them
then
up.
you're 3-1, and then you got the Giants. Then you got the 49ers. Then you got the Eagles. Then you got the Rams. So smoke the Giants.
Yeah,
Because I just don't think they're going to flip the switch just because they got Harbaugh. I think their defense was
yeah,
daunting for us, but I think we've upgraded our offense. We do need to get a wide receiver, and with that, I want to off
yeah,
shot real quick on the Rashee Rice situation.
yeah,
Doing 30 days in jail,
yeah,
and I read something that was like hey, they might go after Stephon Diggs. And that's why I was like, I responded to it like, sign him like now.
yeah,
Get him on the roster. I don't care. Somebody, I think Logan Paulson was doing the Take Command podcast or something with whatever he does with um, Grant Paulson, and
yeah,
he was talking about how he's worried that if you bring in a Diggs, especially that could stunt the growth of Antonio Williams. Um, I say the hell with that.
yeah,
He's going to be a rookie. He's going to be good. You get what you can with him, but you don't turn down a guy who's coming off of a ACL tear and still puts up, I think it was 70 some catches for over 1,000 yards, or
yeah.
80 catches for
He,
a thousand yards.
Yeah, it was like 85 catches, 1,000 yards, and the bottom line is this. I'm just gonna have to respectfully disagree with the Paulsons there on the take command. All due respect to them, I listen to their pod; they're great. But yeah, I don't think it's going to stunt their growth simply because Antonio Williams is who he is. He's
Yeah,
going to get out there. He's going to show what he can do,
yeah,
and if he shows what he's capable of,
right.
he's going to be on the field, and he's going to get his opportunity.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
exactly.
the way I see it.
Exactly. And like I said, I was all in with Ayuk, but with San Francisco pulling this crap that they're pulling, I just, I just don't think you can wait for him. Doesn't
Nah.
mean you don't sign him. Say if they cut him before the season starts and you want to bring him in and maybe he's good to go for the last half of the year, I don't have a problem with that. But
Hmm.
physically, I think he'll be fine, but he's got to learn the plays and stuff like that and get the timing down. But you have Diggs sitting there from the DMV, has mentioned talking to the Commanders. You got plenty of money, and
Yeah.
you have this schedule. So
Yep.
you need to have some explosion, not just Terry McLaurin. I love Terry McLaurin. Wasn't happy with his holdout. I think that was 100% his agent, because they asked for a ridiculous amount of money. But if you have an opportunity to get this guy in Diggs and you make him your number two right from the get, somebody gets hurt, you bring the next man up. You're not bringing in Chris Moore. You're not
Yeah.
bringing in Robbie Chosen. You're not bringing in these
Mhm.
guys that have no business being in the league. You add him and then Ayuk later. You have Treylon Burks, you have Luke McCaffrey, you have Ayuk, you have Diggs, you have McLaurin, you have all of these, and then you throw Okonkwo, Chig
Mhm.
in there. You throw him in there, so you have at that point you can take some injuries at that point. If you
Mhm.
don't have Diggs or Ayuk, and either McLaurin or Williams or somebody goes down, Treylon Burks goes down, then you're getting back down to where we were last year, where McCaffrey has to come in and play a whole bunch, where Jalen Lane has to come in and play a whole bunch, and they weren't ready last year. Maybe they will be this year, but I'd rather have them as like wide receiver 4, 5, 5, 6 than to have them 3 and 4. You know?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Yeah, most definitely. I think, and honestly, with Stephon Diggs, he's so productive. He had such a good year last year. Played the full season. He still has the explosion. Can still cut.
Yep.
Can still run all the routes. It's not like he's washed up.
No.
So if you can bring in a capable receiver to come in and be your true number two, which we need so bad anyway, to me
Yep.
that's a no brainer. I mean, you bring him
Yeah.
in, man.
Yeah,
Bring
and
him in.
and and Grant Paulson talked to not Grant Paulson, Logan Paulson talked to multiple people, and he said he was surprised when everybody he talked to said what a great teammate Diggs is.
Hmm.
He gets a bad rap according to those players because he's all about the team. Once he's there, he's all about the team. So
Hmm.
I don't think you'll have anything, and it's a 1 year deal. You're making a push to get back to relevance.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we're making
Yeah.
a run for the Super Bowl or NFC Championship. What I'm saying is we're making a run for relevancy.
Being
And
relevancy. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we don't have, I think, Williams possibly turns into a number two, but he's not a number one receiver.
No.
Next year, Terry McLaurin will be what, 32 next year?
32. Yeah.
Um,
Next year.
so he'll play out this year's 31, but he's going to be somebody that he's going to be coming up on his age 32 season next season, and they're not going to have him play under what his contract calls for. I think it's 30 some million.
Yeah. 34. I think he counts 34 million. So
34, yeah.
yeah,
So they're
34
not
million
going to
against
do
the
that.
cap.
They'd have to restructure it again or do whatever.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying, I say that to say it's a 1 year thing just to get us to relevancy. Maybe draft a wide receiver in the first round next year. Maybe sign a stud receiver next year,
Hmm.
and see what you got. But right now, I see no downside whatsoever because he has no legal issues right now. He has
Nope.
no medical issues right now. So why not? People were just waiting for his legal stuff to be taken care of. Legal stuff's taken care of. I don't
Yep.
believe he has an injury. He didn't get hurt, did he?
No, he's fine. He's good. He played the full season last year.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I don't see the hesitation, and I know it's Adam Peters' team to run. But if I'm David Blau, I'm like I'm going to him and say I want Stephon Diggs. I need him. I need him for this offense. If you want to be able to score, what did that stat I told you? Jaden Daniels in his career, if he scores 24 points, he's 12-0.
He's
Um,
12-0.
or no, if the defense gives up less than 24 points,
Yeah,
he's
12
12
and
and
0.
0.
Yeah.
So to me, in my mind, maybe it's a simple mind, but I'm sitting there thinking my magic number is to get to 24, 25, 26. You know, I'm trying to get there. And how do you get there? You get there with more playmakers and more people that can, even if it's just move the change. And Diggs can do that. Um,
Well, yeah, and Diggs, and look, just to throw some stats at you that we already kind of touched on a little bit, he played every game last year, which is huge.
yeah.
85 catches, 1,013 yards, 4 touchdowns, had 102 targets. Still
Yeah.
very productive.
Oh yeah,
Still very
102
productive.
targets and 85
Yeah.
catches. That's a
Yep.
hell of a catch rate.
Yes.
You
Hell of
know?
a catch rate. And I would take that all day long for my number two receiver. All
Yeah,
day
most
long.
definitely. Most
Yeah.
definitely. And so, yeah, well, let's get off of that. Said we are going to talk
Yeah.
about the schedule. Let's
Yeah.
get more into it. Like you said, we start off with the Eagles and the Cowboys at both of them. I would hope to
Yep.
split right there. Seattle, I think what we're going to do with Seattle is the same thing that Minnesota did to Seattle a couple years ago. Is they blitzed? I mean, Minnesota. Yeah, Minnesota did to Seattle. Is they blitzed Darno. They
Yeah.
blitzed him up the middle. They kept the edges so where he can't move out of the way, which he doesn't move that great anyway. So I think it's going to be we're going to go after him. That you cannot let him sit back there and pick you apart.
No.
So
No.
you got to go after him. So we'll see what that is. That's the home opener.
Yeah.
So I guess that's a 1 o'clock game because I'm
Yeah.
looking at
The
my
first.
stuff I'm looking at mine. It has the West Coast time on everything. Um,
Yeah.
then the
The first two
Colts,
games are
yeah,
4:25 games, and then we got the 1 o'clock game Eastern
yeah,
time. Yeah.
and then the Colts.
Mhm.
That's a kind of a toss up.
Yeah.
Believe what's his name, Daniel Jones. Like you said, I think he'll be back in
Yep.
time for that game. Even if I mean, he might be back for the start of the season. But obviously their big thing is, they didn't really add a lot. They had to pay what's the receiver's name that we tried to get?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know what you're talking
Pierce.
about.
Is it
Yeah.
Pierce? Is that his
Yeah,
name?
Alec Pierce. Yeah, Alec
Pierce.
Pierce.
They paid him a ton of money, so they didn't
Yeah.
really, I don't think, address too much more than that. So basically, you got a stud receiver and you got a stud running back. Um,
Yep.
and that's if Pierce can stay healthy because he was banged up some too. So that's a toss up to me. The Giants, I just think that they're just, I just think we're better than them. I
Well,
do.
we're playing them at home, and they haven't been good for a couple of years. With the way the season's going to start, you have to win that game. I mean,
Yeah.
that's no choice. You can't lose that game.
Yep.
You
Uh,
just can't.
then you got the 49ers
Hmm.
is a 8:15 game.
That's a Monday night game.
Yeah, Monday night football at the 49ers. Who knows? Sometimes Brock Purdy looks like Joe Montana, and
Yep.
sometimes Brock Purdy looks like Jeff
Joe
Beck.
Montana.
Joe Montana, yeah. So I mean that just depends on what you're going to get with that. Um,
Yeah.
what else? Then we go back to the
Bye week. We got a
home,
bye week, week 7.
right, bye week. Then we got the Eagles
Yeah. Northwest.
coming to Northwest Stadium. Again, it is what it is. It's a division game. Who knows? On division games, really, unless we're just really bad, then we have an opportunity.
Right. Mhm.
I'm not saying in no stretch of the imagination it's going to be easy. I'm just saying that we'll have an opportunity in the game, especially if
Yep.
we got our run game going and the play action game. I think we could have some success. The Rams, man, their defense is scary. Um,
Yes.
I mean, we're going to have to be able to rely on Chig, I think, down the middle in the seams to move the ball. Got to get some push in the run game to get the running going. Uh,
Got to get the running going in that
and
game.
most
Got
and,
to.
and we're probably going to have to rely on Jaden Daniels' legs some. Um,
Yeah.
and I'm talking about not RPO stuff. I'm talking like scrambling out of the pocket and running for first downs. Because that
Hmm.
defense is wow. Their defense is really
Yeah.
impressive. Then we got the Giants again on
Yep.
November 12th. Um, again,
Yep.
divisional game in the Meadowlands. Uh, we'll see how that goes. Then you got the Bengals right before Thanksgiving, or right before Thanksgiving, I think.
Yeah.
Um, and with Joe Burrow, who knows how that would go? I mean, he's one. I know
Yeah.
you love Joe Burrow, so
Oh, I love. Yeah.
he's one of the best quarterbacks in the game, and they
Yeah.
still have Jamar Chase and they still have T Higgins. So
Hmm.
that's going to be a tough game. And they got the Cardinals, so you're playing against the number 3 pick. It's Jeremiah Love.
Yeah. That's right.
We got to play against
That's right.
him. But the
I know.
Cardinals, you're talking about either Jacoby Brissett or Beck. Was it Beck they drafted?
Yeah. Back. Yeah.
Uh,
Carson Beck.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm really
Mhm.
not worried about that game. If we lose, then our
Yeah.
record before, if we lose that game, our record before that doesn't even matter
Right.
because
Exactly. It's irrelevant. It's
that is a
irrelevant.
game we should not lose.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Titans.
Yeah.
I think the Titans adding the receiver from New York, um, that's basically their big thing that they did.
Yeah.
Um,
Wandell Robinson.
yeah, Wandale
Yeah.
Robinson. I mean,
Yeah.
he's 5'8", man.
Yeah.
He's not a stud number one receiver. So
Hmm.
Titans don't scare me. The Texans, their defense, yes,
Oh,
we
that's gonna be trouble right
we
there.
got
That's
to
gonna
be
be
able to
trouble.
run the ball with that.
Yeah.
We got to run the ball. We
Yeah.
cannot get into it where we're down and we have to pass the ball all the time.
Yep.
So that's going to be a bad day if we have to throw the ball a lot because those
Mhm.
ends they will eat us up. I don't care if
Oh
you have
yeah.
Tunsil. I don't care how much improved Connerly is. You do not want to get involved in a 35-40 pass attempt game
No.
with them.
No.
And the great thing is that I mean, CJ Stroud
He's
Has
come back down to earth.
yeah, yeah.
He's
He
come
does
back
not
down to
look
earth.
like Superman. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
so I mean, I think we could stick with them, and that'll be a close game. But we can
Mhm.
take that one. The Falcons, I guess Michael Penix or Tua, I
Yeah.
guess.
Or two, yeah.
Um, Whoever's there, other than Penix's legs, and he had a good game against us. But this is a total different defense
Yes.
now. We got
Yep.
speed at all levels now. We got better
Yep.
pass rush now. So that one I think we should be able to win. The Vikings with
That's tough. They beat us 31-0 last year.
they beat us 31. They embarrassed us.
So
They
yeah,
embarrassed us. The thing that they're going to have going against us is still that offense.
yeah.
We're going to have a different defense. We're going to have a better offense. But I mean, that was like one of those things that everything that could go wrong did go wrong. Jaden Daniels
Exactly. Yeah, that's
gets
true.
hurt again in that game off a tip
Yep.
pass interception. I still think
Yep.
that was kind of a cheap shot. He was kind of jogging towards the guy who intercepted it and then got blown up and landed on
Yep.
his arm,
Hmm.
which ended up to me being the best thing for us because he wasn't healthy and
Right.
everybody could see it. And so
Hmm.
he wasn't going to sit down and they weren't going to sit him down unless he got injured again. And so I think, me personally, I think that was the best thing that could have happened is it didn't end up being career altering. And it just got him to be out of the games for the last month or so.
Yeah.
Jaguars, they're Jekyll and Hyde. I mean,
Yeah, they're tough. They're tough. Yeah, you're right. They're Jekyll and Hyde. I agree
I
with
mean,
that.
one week they can have uh, Lawrence looking like, the the best quarterback that ever played the game, and then the next week he
Yep.
throws four interceptions. Um,
Yeah.
so that's definitely a winnable game, and then you end up at home versus the Cowboys. So
Yeah.
obviously that would be the one where you look at and say, hopefully we're in a chance to win the division. And what better way to finish off the year is to beat the Cowboys and win the division at the end of the year.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Um, I don't want. It's hard for me to make predictions. I mean, we do it because you don't know what's going to happen from week to week. I just know that the first 4 weeks of the season,
Yeah,
we have to find a way to go 2-2.
yeah.
Because I can tell you right now that if we go 1-3, I
Uh,
mean, it, we're just going to be fighting to get to 500, man.
oh
We
yeah,
we have to find a way somehow, some way, by hook or crook, to get to 2-2 through the first 4 weeks, and we'll
yeah.
be just fine, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
If I mean if you look at it that way, if you say, you lose two of the first three, if you can beat the Colts, go two
Yeah.
and two, beat the
Yep.
Giants 3-2, then you got
Yep.
49ers, Eagles, Rams.
Yep.
And at that point you need to at least get one of those,
At
and
least.
then the schedule calms down. Then
Yep.
you got the Giants, you got the Bengals, Cardinals, Titans, Texans, Falcons. So you can right the ship after that. But you never want to put yourself in a hole. And I think a lot of coaches that I've heard, they kind of break the season into quarters, as
Yeah.
far as first four games, next four games, see how we are about what used to be the halfway point when it was 16
Hmm.
games.
Hmm.
But see
Hmm.
where you're at halfway through the season. And then, hopefully, at that point, the coordinators have had half a season of calling plays. Uh, since Blau has never called plays, and Durante Jones only called plays at LSU for one season as defensive coordinator. So,
Yep.
you get to learn your people more, obviously better conditioned as far as, we always hopefully they don't start off with the baby camps like it's been and all these veteran days off and all that other crap. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
That's
hopefully
yeah.
we don't do that. Hopefully we have a
Mm.
regular training camp and get these
Yep.
guys in football shape.
Yeah. Get them ready to play because the first 4 weeks, man, are going to be daunting, and we have to be ready to go, and
Yeah.
we have to fight because we're going to be. I mean, we're definitely going to be underdogs in the first 3 games,
Right.
and to be honest with you, we'll probably be an underdog against the Colts if we have it more than likely as well. So you're looking at probably being a dog in the first 4 weeks of the season. So for
Uh,
whatever that's worth.
so give me a prediction. Last thing we're gonna do. Give me a prediction on our record? I know you don't have to call the games, but just
Yeah,
tell me what we finish.
I'm gonna say 7-10. I'm going to say 7-10. I think we're going to start slow because of the schedule, but then, like you said, it kind of eases up towards the end, and we'll throw up some games to kind of make it look better, and we're going to finish 7-10. That's my prediction.
I'm gonna flip you. I'm gonna go
Okay.
10-7 because
Okay. Nice.
I think Jaden Daniels is the X factor that gets us
Hmm.
through some of those games. Yeah, they're going to be
Hmm.
tough. There's going to be as long as we got a good kicking game, which we'll
Hmm.
see who wins the job. But as long as we got a good kicking game, um, then I think we can be in some and maybe steal some at the end. And if Jaden Daniels plays anywhere close to what he played in his rookie season, um, I see no reason why we can't win 10 games because some of those games, like I said, divisional games are a toss up. Um,
Yeah.
Unless you're just bottom of the barrel, which I think we've improved, and we can agree on that. We've
Oh
improved
yeah.
our roster immensely compared to last year. Um,
Oh God, yeah.
so looking at that, looking at the additions that we've made, and like I said, with having just them not knowing what our offense and defense truly looks like until we get into the season, I think we can catch the Cowboys and the Eagles off guard, and we may be able to steal one, maybe two of those. Um, I know it's daunting, like you said, it is. I'm not trying to say otherwise. I'm not trying to be a homer here. I'm just saying that I think there's always an opportunity.
Yeah. I mean, there's always a shot, and I hope your prediction is right and mine's wrong. And
Me too.
yeah, I really do. I hope that, but I agree. Yeah, if Jaden Daniels can play at the level we know he can play at, he is the X factor. He can play. He plays well on the road. It doesn't matter. We saw how many big road games he played in
Oh yeah,
his rookie year. So he is the X factor. If he plays to his capability, and our defense is a little better, which it should be. It's younger. It's more athletic. More pass rushing specialists. Um, Younger, of course, then hopefully, yeah, we can steal first few of those games and see if we can't finish strong and find a way to get into the playoffs and make some noise.
there you
You know,
go.
make
All
some
right.
noise.
All right. So that's all the time we have for today. Um, so we will be back soon. When do you think you want to do another one? Let's get this out in the air right now. When we're going to do another one?
I'd say sometime over the weekend, maybe. Sounds good to
Over the
me.
weekend. All right. So this is
Yeah.
Thursday. So I'll post this up tonight. And then we'll shoot for either Saturday or Sunday. We'll get another one, get some new content, and see where it goes. And you know what? I want to get your thoughts on the Nationals and the Wiz since I talked about them solo. I
Yep.
want to get your thoughts when we talk about it this weekend.
That's cool. I like that.
All right, everybody, appreciate it. Appreciate you
Yeah.
watching. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family, make them watch it, tie them down, do whatever you got to do. Get us out there just so we can, relate to people, get people to, get some comments in. We love any type of comments y'all have. You can say, hey, your hair is ugly. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I got too much hair. I need to get it cut. I agree with you. But I would say what the content we put out is as far as what we say, we're not just talking out of our behinds. We've been watching football a long time, and this is what we see over watching football for 40 some years. So,
Hmm.
all right,
Yep.
everybody, thank you.
All right.
We'll see you next time.
Peace.